Well, hello there. Welcome to my website. My name is Craig Hain, and my students call me Dr. Dell, and this is a picture of me on the back of a book I've written that is called Teaching Math, and you can buy it on Amazon in a Kindle format, or you can get a free copy if you come to our website at Triad Math. This book on teaching math is about 100 pages long, and it tells you all about what's involved in teaching math today at the post-elementary level, what I believe is wrong with the current curriculum, and more importantly, how to remedy it and fix it and what to do. Now, you've come to the particular page on how to learn math in 30 hours, and so that is what I am going to discuss with you. And you may first of all want to download this PDF that's on this page called Learn Math in 30 Hours, and we'll talk about it and some other things as well. Okay, before we actually discuss the PDF that I've given you as a handout, let's just talk a little bit about what is math or mathematics. And this is kind of a kitchen table approach that I use. I sit down and talk to you. First of all, as you probably know, mathematics is a kind of a language. It's pretty unique to human beings as far as we know, and it involves a lot of tools that let us help us understand the world we live in. Now, mathematics at its most basic level consists of two things: numbers, which you should know a lot about because this is presumably your post-elementary. You understand how to count and how to measure things and how to use the number system. And geometry, which is all about various types of figures like lines and triangles and circles and things. And that's really what mathematics at its most basic level is about, along with then processes that you need to engage in order to solve problems and to get answers to questions that you might have about all sorts of things. Now, there are tools that have been created over the years in order to help us do mathematics. There's one that's been around for thousands of years and is still in use today around the world called the abacus. You could go on Wikipedia and learn a lot about it. I must confess to you that I have never learned to use an abacus, and I understand that they're quite useful, but I've never used one. Years ago, we had a lot of tables that we used. We had trig tables and log tables, and back when I was learning math, beginning, I had to learn how to use these tables in order to engage in processes to solve problems. And then there was a tool called a slide rule that actually put these tables into a format that you could solve problems pretty easily. Now, quite frankly, today in the world we live in, all of these tools are essentially obsolete. You won't be using them. There's no reason to learn to use them. You're also not going to have to learn to do a lot of the manual things that you used to do with pencil and paper when you do arithmetic and various math because of modern tools. The first tool that we're going to learn to use in the training I'm going to give you is a calculator. We're going to learn to use a wonderful scientific calculator. It's the TI-30XA. But what I'm going to teach you in the 30 hours are the basic things you need to know about numbers and geometry and the processes involved in order to solve all types of practical problems. Now, as I point out in my handout, which I hope you've downloaded and printed out, or at least you can look at it on your computer, mathematics is a lot like a subject like music. It's a very, very large and very rich subject. In fact, a person could spend a whole lifetime learning new mathematics and never really learn out of new things to learn. In fact, there's new mathematics being discovered and invented constantly as we speak. However, as I promised you, in about 30 hours, you're going to be able to learn what I consider to be the basic concepts of mathematics that are going to be what you need if you want to apply math to other technical subjects. This is going to provide also then a foundation for future math studies should you choose to go beyond what I consider to be basic math. So now let me tell you just exactly what it is you're going to learn in this 30 hours that I consider learning math. The first thing you're going to learn to do is to use the calculator that is my favorite calculator that I use all the time when I'm doing math problems. It's the TI-30XA. It's a very, very powerful calculator. When the first scientific calculator came out in 1972, it wasn't near as powerful as this, and it cost about $2,000 in today's dollars. But it was so powerful and useful that many people bought it almost immediately, and it made existing tools obsolete. Now today you can buy this calculator for $10 or less, and it's just a pretty ideal calculator to use, and it's what I'm going to teach you to use. And in fact, here are the things that I will teach you right off the bat. There'll be 12 lessons on different things to use this calculator to do that you'll need to do in basic math. And as a matter of fact, this syllabus comes from a website, a course that we offer to maintenance people. This is the math that you use for all types of industrial applications. And if you go to www.maintenancemath.com, you can download this syllabus right there. Or in fact, I'll give you a copy of it on this page here to download. After you learn to use the calculator, and by the way, this doesn't take very long. You'll zoom right through this. Then you're going to learn what I call pre-algebra. This is basically being sure that you understand the rules of arithmetic, because you're going to be able to do a lot of calculations when you deal with the problems you're going to do. Then once you've done that, then you're going to study algebra. Now, algebra are some of these processes I told you about that you're going to need to be able to do and execute in order to solve problems that involve numbers and also that involve geometry. And then this is the geometry that you're going to learn in this 30 hours. There are going to be 12 lessons in geometry, 8 in algebra and 12 in geometry, and that constitutes this 30-hour program. You can see that we're going to discuss lines and angles and triangles and squares and polygons and circles and surface areas and volumes and things like that. Now, I will tell you that this is a subset of a more comprehensive course that we teach that is called the Foundation of Practical Mathematics, and it has the same general topics, but there's more included. And the way the training you're going to take works is each one of these lessons that you'll be given, there will be a set of notes and a video that will explain whatever that topic is. And then once you study that lesson and watch the video and understand the processes involved and the concepts involved, then you'll be given a set of problems, and you will work these problems out. And math is a subject that you learn by doing. It's like a sport. You have to practice it, and this is a lot of fun to do when you know how to do it. And you'll know how to do every one of these because I will have demonstrated exactly whatever we're discussing for these problems, and you'll be able to do them pretty easily. There'll usually be 10 or 15 of them. I also, of course, give you all of the answers so you'll know exactly what the answers are. And then once you've done that, you get a quiz, an online quiz. Now, this online quiz will be 3 questions, and you have to answer them all 3 correctly to pass the quiz, and then that lets you know, and anyone else that cares, that you have mastered this particular topic and you're ready to move on then to the very next topic. And so math is like climbing a ladder. You're going to be learning these topics one topic at a time, and it's like climbing a ladder. And in fact, the syllabus that I just showed you is tells you exactly what you're going to be doing. You'll be first learning introduction, then basic operations, and so on, down through pre-algebra. Now, the foundation syllabus you can also download at the Maintenance Math site. It is the more advanced thing, and it has a few more topics in it. The thing that it adds that is not covered in this basic 30-hour program is what's called trigonometry, which is really very easy, but it's what you need to solve all types of triangle problems. A triangle is the most important polygon in mathematics. It's used all throughout industry. And so if you really want to be fully educated in practical math, you'll need to also take these lessons in trig. And there's a few other geometry lessons that I've included that weren't included in the basic 30 hours. Now, it will probably take you an additional 10 or 15 hours to go through the additional material if you want to do the entire practical math foundation. But that's what I'm recommending to you, is that you get yourself started, take the 30 hours. As I point out in the handout that I've given you, once you finish this 30 hours of mathematics and you've learned the algebra and the geometry and how to use the calculator, you're going to probably know more mathematics than about 95% of your fellow citizens out there. And you'll be able to do probably 90% of all the problems you're going to run into in what I call everyday practical mathematics, whether it's working in industry, in a technical field of some sort. Now, I'm not talking about engineering. I'm talking about the kind of practical problems you run into. In fact, I've been helping all sorts of people do their math problems over the years, and what I've put into this practical math program are the mathematics that I've used to solve most of these problems. Occasionally, you'll need a little bit more in the way of trigonometry to solve certain problems, and that's why I've included that in the Practical Math Foundation. Now, If you complete this program, the Practical Math Foundation, you know enough math to go out and go into any non-professional technical field. You'll do well on exams if you go to the military, whatever. But if you want to go on into engineering or science and go on to advanced mathematics, then you'll need the next program in math. And that's what I recommend, that you watch the video we have on why you don't want to spend more than $15 on a mathematics textbook, because in that video I explain to you exactly what's involved in the more advanced topics you would get after you've gone through this. But this is the place to begin. I think anybody can go through this 30 hours. Now, I'd recommend you spread it out over a period of 30 to 60 days. Study a half an hour to an hour a day, 4 or 5 days a week. And then in 1 to 2 months, you will have completed the 30 hours. And indeed, you'll probably want to go ahead and finish the practical math, which will be another 10 or 15 hours of your time. And then you will really know the math you need for all sorts of subjects that you'll want to do. And you'll have confidence in yourself. You'll enjoy math. It's a lot of fun. I say that it's quick, easy, and fun. And that's compared to what you might have experienced in the past. And the reason is we're climbing the ladder one step at a time. You're always going to be ready for the next topic because you will have completed the previous ones. And I'm sure you'll enjoy it very much. So this is Craig Hain, or sometimes known as Dr. Dell by my students. I hope that I'll be able to meet up with you in this course sometime down the road. Bye-bye.